Hello viewers, I welcome you to this particular edition of our full stack web development. In this particular video, we shall be looking at the real content of the web, which is the markup language. We are going to be diving deeper into the real world of writing some real codes. So in this training, we shall be looking at HTML, which is Hypertext Markup Language. But before we dive in, I am going to first of all show you the two tools or materials that we shall be using for this course. So the first one is that we'll be needing a browser, which automatically you may already have on your computer. We are also going to be needing an IDE or text editor. So if you want to follow me up, I'll be making use of the Visual Studio Code. But you are free to make use of any other IDE of your choice, such as Sublime Text, Atom, Notepad++, and any other one like Anaconda and so on. But if you want to follow up with my training particularly, I would prefer you make use of the Visual Studio Code. So let's go down to our system, and what we are going to do now is we are going to go to our browser, and then inside our browser we are going to go to our search and search for VS Code, and we hit enter, and the official website of the Visual Studio Code is code.visualstudios.com. So we can click on it, and once we get there, it will automatically detect the operating system that we are making use of. For here you can see it says download for Windows, the stable version. So you can just click on download for Windows to start downloading the Visual Studio Code. So I already have Visual Studios downloaded, so I am not going to continue with this download. But once you have downloaded the Visual Studio Code, you can head on to install it. Make sure you mark the code option, and you can open it. So to open it, there are several ways we can do that, but I want us to open a project immediately. So what we will do now is we need to create a folder. So I'm going to create a folder by right-clicking on my system and selecting new, and then select folder, and I can call it sample and save it. I can come down to this folder and right-click on the folder and go to show more option, and then select open with code. This is going to open the Visual Studio Code for me, and it's going to open that particular folder that we just opened or created. So you can see the folder has been created. Another way is to open the Visual Studio Code and select the folder. So we can just click on this file and then go to open folder, and you can select any folder of your choice and click on select folder, and you start working with that folder. So it doesn't really matter how you open the Visual Studio Code. What really matters is the quality of the code that you write. So let's start. So we're going to begin with the index page of our website, which in turn is the home page of our website. So we can say index.html. Now all website file or all HTML files ends with .html extension. So the .html extension tells the computer how to read that binary file. So you know, the computer does not understand the human readable language. It only understands 1 and 0, which we call binary. If you did your mathematics very well, there is a particular type of mathematics that they call the binary numbers. The binary numbers or number basis, which is number base 2. The binary numbers are number base 2, numbers that have only 2 digits, which are 1 and 0. The 1 and 0 is the only language that the computer understands, and because of it, the computer, whichever operations that we must do on the computer must be arranged in the binary language for computer to understand it. So whichever code that we are writing must have, or whichever file must have an instruction to the computer on how to read the binary. So that's why you see your images are having .jpg, .png, your document files are having .docx for Microsoft document, .txt for text document, and so on, .ico for icons, .svg for vector icons or vector images that are able to expand or compress without losing their quality, and so on. So let's begin. Too much of distractions. Let's begin. Now for the HTML, to start writing our HTML, the HTML must be wrapped within this thing. So to write our first HTML, I'm not going to be wasting your time. What we are going to do is, the version of the HTML that we are writing is the HTML5. So what you do is just type HTML :5 and hit enter, and this is going to be generated for you. I am going to tell you what this stands for. But if your Visual Studio Code did not give you this, what you need to do is to come down to this point where you have extensions and click on it. Make sure you have internet connection, and then you come here and type EMMET, which is Emmet, and search for Metro Emmet. So this is Metro Emmet. It's an extension that helps you to write code easily. Then you click on it and make sure you click install. So I already have it installed, and that's why you are seeing on the install. You make sure you click install and it begins to install. After you are done with the Emmet, you can go to this and type live server, so that you can be able to run your code on a live server. So once you click there, you click here and also do install. Once you are done with that, you are ready to go. You can return back to your file explorer and you can type that same thing again. So you type HTML:5 and hit enter, and you have this. So alternatively, if you forget HTML:5, you can as well make use of this. Just click on the hold shift and click 1. That is shift 1 and hit enter, and you are going to have this. Now I am going to go ahead to explain what each of these things represent. So the first part, which is the doctype HTML, is telling the browser the version of our HTML. So it is telling it this is HTML version 5. The second one, which is this, and it terminates here. So this is HTML opening tag, and this is the HTML closing tag. So for HTML, it just exists like a bag that contains all the things that we are doing, but all those things are separated in different pockets. So the HTML have two pockets, which are the head and the body. And that is what you are seeing here. So this is the head and this is the body. Now the head section contains the title, the meta, the script, the styles, and so on. Basically, the head section of the HTML functions to tell the browser how to read the content of the body. So it is just like a configuration of the website. It is just like a setting of the website, telling the browser this is how you must keep this document that you find in the body section. So this meta chasset UTF-8 is the encoding value of our typographies or whatever we are doing here, the encoding. While meta name report content equal to width equal to device width, initial scale 1. What is this? So this is telling the browser to always consider the size of the width of whichever device that is accessing this website and try to shrink the content of this web page according to the device width. So this is for responsive websites. We are coming to that. A responsive website is just to make the website to fit into the different sizes of the devices that are accessing the website. For example, if you are accessing a particular website on the desktop computer and the tablet computer and the phone, you will notice that the sizes of the screen of these devices differs. So because the sizes differs, the level of content that will be shown to each of these devices differs as well. A responsive website makes it easy for every part of that website to be easily identified by the user. So to make a website responsive, you must take cognizance of the device size so that everything will fit in the layout. So the layout of the desktop is different from the layout of the mobile device. So that is what this particular place is saying. Then the title, and then you have the document. This is the title of the page that you are accessing. Every page that you access has a title, and the title is here. So you can give it anything, but it must exist within the opening and the closing tag. So the opening tag does not have this forward slash, while the closing tag must have the forward slash. We'll come to that later on. The body section is the content of the website. This is the place that displays all the things that we see on the website. So what I will do now is that we are going to go ahead to display the website that we are currently building. So what we will do to display this website is to click on Go Live. So we can come down here and click Go Live. This is going to run our browser, and if you look at the top here, you will see document. Now this is coming from the title document. If we go ahead to change this to my home page and we save it, if we return to our browser, you will see that this is my home page. Let me make this easier for us by reducing the sizes. So we have our browser here and we have our IDE here. So if you look up here, this is coming from this title, but then the content of this website is still empty. If I should type anything here, it will automatically display on the body of our browser. So this is the body of the website. I hope you understand this. So we have two pockets in the bag. The two pockets are the head and the body pockets. The body pocket contains everything that we see on the website, whereas the head pocket contains informations on how to run or open that body section. That is simple. But we cannot just start writing anything on the body. So we make use of what we call the HTML elements. The HTML elements are sets of instructions to the browser on how to read a particular content. So the first element for HTML elements, we have different elements. We have the tag, we have the class element, and we have the ID element, and then we have the attributes. We will take them one after the other. So we are going to follow up with the tag element. So the first tag that we are going to be making use of here is the H tag, which is called the heading tag. So for the heading tag, remember, heading is different from head. So the heading tag is used to display titles of any content. So I can go ahead and hit enter. You will see it will wrap within the less than and greater than. So whichever content, I can say title of my website. Let's save it, and we have title of my website. And you can see that it appears to be bold and very large. The heading tag has 6 tags, and the 6 of them are H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. The H6 is the smallest heading, whereas the H1 is the largest heading or the biggest heading. So as it is progressing, it is reducing in size. Let us see the H2. So we can just type H2 and hit enter, and we can say title of my website 2. You can save it, and we have title of my website 2. And you can see that this appears to be a little bit smaller than this first one, and it is progressively reducing in size if we go straight to H3, H4, H5, H6. This is the heading tag. In our next video, we shall be talking about other tags